What's up, everybody? I am the Architect 04,
And I'm Lum.
and you're riding shotgun with the Zucker Bros.
Alright, so today's kind of a little bit off topic, but not really off topic. Today we're going to be talking about a game, a very popular game at that. I mean, Among Us has been the talk of the century, I want to say. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's been
the talk of the last 6
year.
months.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of the biggest YouTubers have played it.
Are playing it.
Well, that's
a lot of them are. Okay. Well, I'll just add to this. Congresswoman AOC actually played the game on the live Twitch stream.
Yeah.
And apparently did really well, which was kind of crazy. But the fact that this game has reached unexpected players.
It's a simple game. It's not hard. I mean, let's be. You haven't played it, but
I haven't physically played it.
Let me tell you, it's an easy game. It's not hard to win.
I get the gist. Obviously, it seems and from the outside looking in, it seems like a live play version of Clue, whodunit.
Yeah.
It's
not hard,
and which is simple,
but it's fun. It is fun.
I can see the allure, especially with something as simple as this, where you could draw in all kinds of different demographic and people that would normally not play video games, or again, like I said, that enjoyed Clue when they were younger,
right,
or these murder mysteries, or playing. I mean, there was games like this. For the DS,
right,
Nintendo DS, that grabbed people. There were murder mysteries and stuff like that. But maybe not quite like Among Us, right? not like this. It was the solving the crime, right? And,
for sure.
But I think this game reaches into these people's minds and says, you know what? Can you figure it out? Can you find the imposter? Do you know who it is? And it's that want to be Sherlock Holmes and say, yeah, I know who it is. I can figure this out. I'm smart enough. I can outsmart everybody else on this.
Right. No, I actually watched a video of a private detective, a private investigator.
Private investigator.
Yeah, playing it and trying to see if honestly, no, all your tactics as an actual private investigator are thrown out the damn window.
Of course.
But because it's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's not made to be this but it is. You have tasks. You're supposed to basically judge a person's tone of voice, because you can't. And if you play the game well, or if you're just super sus, you're gonna lose. I mean, that's just it. And if honestly, people who play the game bad win all the time because people don't suspect them. They just they're under the radar.
Yeah,
but people who play the game very well, know what they're doing, it's a little sus, a little suspect. You know what I mean? True. But it also I've learned it's about the group of friends and people that you're playing with, because if you're playing with people who are very, I want to say, anxious, maybe, they're always gonna suspect it. Anybody who's what I mean?
Sure.
Who's so I mean, playing with I have a coworker, and playing with him, he'll call anybody out. If you even have an inkling of suspicion on you, then he's gonna call it. And even if you're a crewmate, you're you just get thrown out, and it's happened to me too many times. So I can tell you, fuck this game.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, I get, like I said, I personally, I can see the allure and see why people would like it, and why it has gotten gained the popularity it has in such a short amount of time. Although the game has actually been released for a couple of years now. It wasn't just until this pandemic and people were cooped up in their house and needed something to do, that it became as popular as it has. But the I think the developers did a really good job. Innersloth, making the game, and just sometimes simple is better.
No, yeah, I mean,
this is a testament to it for sure.
For sure. And I think with Fall Guys, with the simplicity, it can bring out a lot of these other more simplistic games. I mean, in my opinion, it just goes to show you that with this more of the simple market, and I don't know, you haven't played this game either, but it's a roguelike game, which is, in my opinion, a more simple game. It's more simplistic. That's actually becoming more popular too. It's called Hades.
I did see, actually, you on one of your other channels, you've played the game.
I have played it. Yeah, you can go check that out. Llama HP. Check me out. I'm a gaming channel over there. But yeah, I've played it. It's a super fun, super simplistic game. It adds a lot of lore, adds a lot of value to the game. You know what I mean? And so when you play it, you don't feel like you're just playing a random small developer game that's not like, it doesn't have a lot in it. Right. These are very focused on player driven, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And player based. So like they respond to the players very well, especially because they're a smaller developing company. They're going to be able to hone in on what the player actually wants in the game. And I feel like they did a very good job. They were talking about releasing an Among Us 2, and they actually stopped the development for Among Us 2 and decided to just put all of their focus into Among Us 1 and making it a better overall game, in general, as far as that's concerned. So I think you're right. The developers are doing a very good job in just making the game a good game, which is why people want to play it. Right. I mean, if people did not enjoy it, they would not be playing it. Let's be real.
Well, it also gives the players or anyone looking for a little more social interaction, but fun, and not being able to. I mean, nobody's been able to go to bars or and go out and have social interaction with other people. Right. Although most have, but we're being honest. Those are the responsible. Sure. The responsible, majority have stayed home, and they, this is a way to interact and have fun socially with others. Yeah. And because there is a lot of interaction on it. You discuss with everybody on how who the imposter is, and then you vote them out, and everybody votes and stuff like that. So being able to come together and talk to people and see what everybody else is thinking, and it's just that another level of interaction that a lot of video games don't offer when you're playing even against opponents, right?
No, yeah, for sure.
You take the big games like Fortnite, right, and Call of Duty. It's like you can talk to those in your party, and you have a game chat where you can talk to those that are on your team. But if there's your opponents, you can't interact with. Whereas with this, you interact with everyone you're playing with,
right?
Imposter or not.
Yeah. And
then you have to decide on who's and it's got to be a unanimous decision and vote them out, or whatever the case. Which is I mean, again, like you said, I mean, it's fine. Now I have seen, and I don't know if this is, I'm not entirely sure whether it's an Innersloth version, but they have VR versions now.
I don't think it's not made by Innersloth. It's made by smaller developers that make these.
It's like a clone.
Yeah,
it's like a VR clone, right, essentially.
Exactly.
It's not actually Among Us, but it's modeled after it.
Right? It's named something else.
Right.
That's how they get away with it. I've actually watched a couple YouTube videos of the guys who develop these games and then put them out on Steam for people to play. So, which is nice. I mean, that just tells me that the industry is growing more. That's not just held down by these large corporations trying to build a foundation and expand. Right. It's more of these smaller,
I think
creative developers too.
Yeah. I mean, not to get too far off topic here, but the big developing, the EAs and the Blizzard Activision and
Bethesda and all these,
Bethesda and all these big name developing companies, these groups. I feel like the gaming community as a whole is starting to shy away from those games. I mean, don't get me
100.
wrong, they still have a good base.
Right.
They still have a lot of players. People are still going to play their games because there's a lot of sentiment behind them. But I feel like the average gamer, myself included, I find myself looking for, looking for something new, fresh, something that's a little different, because all these designers, their games are a little bit different here and there, but a lot of times, and I can understand
cookie cutter.
Yeah, they tend to be,
it's very cookie.
They can be very cut and paste, right? Because and I understandably running a company, why fix it if it's not broken? Just reskin it. You can reskin it for something new, maybe change a few things here and there, but it makes for easier development on new projects. You don't have to start from the beginning, start from scratch with something. You already have a base framework and you just kind of build off of that, and it makes it easier. But then you have these indie games, stuff like this, where they're starting from the ground level, and we're gonna start here, and we'll give it what we got and see what happens. And because they have these indie developers have nothing to lose, they can make something that it may be super simple, but people have never seen it before, and it's like, oh, this is so new that it becomes such a phenomenon, like Among Us. And funny enough, like I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about the addictive nature of the mobile game Flappy Bird. I'm sure most people will remember Flappy Bird. That and its short-lived history on mobile devices, because the developer himself said, was like, hey man, I was doing it for fun. He took it down because it was ruining people's lives. And it was funny, they were talking about discussing it, but something as simple as tapping a screen to make a bird fly through obstacles, the simplest games that bring such a high level of human reward, and conscious reward in the brain, it's mind blowing. But that's just kind of a testament to the simplicities, and sometimes simple is better, and that goes with a lot of things in life.
I mean, games such as Flappy Bird and stuff like that do blow up over such and it's not a complex game. I think there's a love for those games, which is why right now we're going through that, and I feel like we're even at a very end stage of that kind of era.
I think that the simple games do so well because it reaches a much broader demographic of people, that because now everybody's got a device in their hand.
I think it gives us more options as a gaming at a whole and community, because there are people who don't just want to play AAA games, obviously. There's some of us who like these smaller indie developer games that, you know what I mean? And I think that's what it gives us, a nice broad aspect of games to play, because I don't think anybody actually wants to shy away from these big games, because we grew up on them. We love them so much. I've been playing Assassin's Creed since the first game, you know what I mean? I'm not going to stop now just because of whatever, you know what I mean? So and I feel like it's the same thing, but these games, these other games, these like Among Us and Fall Guys and games that have been coming out, Hades even, I feel like it gives a fresh new look on just things, because we haven't had these simplistic games for so long. It's always been, how can I make a game more complex? Like GTA. GTA has only tried to put more into the game, and I feel like there's a good give and take in GTA, but it's always been, how can I make the game more realistic and put more into it so the player feels like they're more in a real life simulation, playing a character. But
yeah, I mean, that's you're diving deeper down the RPG hole.
Oh yeah.
I mean, GTA.
As far as GTA,
as far as GTA, well, even in a lot of the RPGs are they you layer them because of you want to give people the options of living out these.
That's what these big AAA developers have built, is the RPG world. So as far as that's concerned. You know, that's all I'm talking about. That's all I mean. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point earlier was that, you know, these games like Among Us is, you know, your average gamer, you know, say from the age of 16 to 32, rough estimate, you know, that age range obviously is playing the majority of this game. But I'm saying Among Us, and that's the majority of the age range that will be playing these AAA titles that we're talking about as well. Those around my age in their late 20s, early 30s, they're going to be the ones very nostalgic on these big titles because they remember when, you know, Rare and Activision and Blizzard and all these developers were first starting out on the scene. They remember when World of Warcraft was first released and playing the first Diablos and playing, you know, Doom and Quake and all these other games that are so iconic, and that, you know, the younger generations now are going, oh man, yeah, you know, that game. Look, this and this and that and this and that, and you know, because it's been remastered. Like, oh, this game's so great, and you're like, yeah, I remember playing that when it was, you know, 32-bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I'm saying is, like, games like Among Us, these simpler games, they reach out past that and they reach into the older ranges. I would say older demographics of, you know, instead of women of ages 20 to 45 that are playing. They're playing. I mean, what are they doing on their phones, right? They're playing. If they play games like Candy Crush, right? Candy Crush is one of the most played video games of all time,
right?
Because, or has the most one of the highest player base because of its accessibility.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
able
mobile.
to be on it's able to be on your handheld device you have in your pocket.
Of course.
And when you have free time, what are you doing? You're playing Candy Crush.
Not
or
me.
what are
I mean, yeah, no.
Not
I know
us,
what you
obviously,
mean.
but my point is that you
sure.
know, it reaches such a more broad demographic of people. It doesn't just limit itself to those that play on console and PC.
Yeah.
It's a mobile game, and mobile gaming is because of, you know, I mean, middle-aged women are the right now, they are the highest demographic of mobile games because, you know, there's when they're not busy, what are they doing? You know, they just sit there and play a mobile game.
Yeah, for sure.
Pull out your phone because you're already scrolling Facebook and Instagram and all these other stuff. And when those feeds run out, you're like, oh, I've already seen all this. Okay, hop over to something else to kill time.
Yeah. Right.
But that's what I'm saying is and because of the simplicity, it's easier for them to say, well, let me check it out. What's all the hype about my 10-year-old son talking about this game, and it sounds cool because I have to figure out who the imposter is. It's like, okay, everybody wants to know who will.
I mean, I guess so.
Figure it out, right?
I mean,
just hop into a game.
Right.
You know, and it's that easy. So,
yeah.
You know, I don't think I may not be 100% correct on this, you know, obviously, you know, but I do feel like that has a lot to do with the wild success of Among Us.
Maybe not. I think that the largest demographic right now that plays Among Us is going to be a teen and, you know, young adult.
Sure.
But I mean, I do feel like, yeah, and that the reason why it has blown up is because of its simplicity. It is only a couple gigabytes. You don't have to pay more than $5 for it. It's a very easy game to play, but everybody's playing it. So if you want to get in on it, you can get in on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like and that only happened because it blew up so much. And, you know, I feel like that's just, again, like you said, a testament to the developers. They did a good job with the game, because if it wasn't fun to play, again, nobody would be playing it, you know?
Right.
So I guess that just brings me to my last question, because I mean, we've been talking about it a lot and we've seen it everywhere, but I mean, is Among Us actually still relevant right now? Because I'm only saying that because a lot of these bigger YouTubers that I watch, like PewDiePie and Corey Kenshin, Dashi, and KSI, and, you know, Corpse, and all these Pokimane and all these other big YouTubers, I haven't seen any Among Us videos recently. They've gotten back to their normal set of videos, you know? So is it relevant anymore? These bigger YouTubers aren't playing it. Is anybody else playing it? I haven't played it in a while. So.
Yeah. As far as relevancy, I think I feel like it's ending. It's on the back end of its relevancy slope.
Me
Now,
too.
it's not completely irrelevant yet
Right.
because we're talking about it right now.
No, yeah.
Yeah, clearly we wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't relevant.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, maybe we'll talk about stuff
Maybe.
that's not relevant, but
Yeah.
it's relevant to us, right?
For
so
sure.
this is only, I think in the grand scheme, it still has its relevancy, its place, because I think there's still, although the big YouTubers and the big content creators may have slowed and gone back to whatever it is, they've hopped off the wave,
Right.
but that wave is still rippling through those smaller, the smaller pages and the smaller channels of YouTube and these other, Twitch stars and stuff like this that are trying to pick up from where the big ones left off. And those people that are still curious, still want to watch and still enjoy watching the gameplay, they're gonna find it, and they're gonna find somebody, and who knows, they may find a new channel that's talking about Among Us, and
Subscribe
and like
and comment.
Yeah, and comment.
Tell us if you guys enjoyed the video. But I mean, no, yeah, for sure. I think you're right about that. I was scrolling my sub feed, everybody that I'm sub to, and I found a couple of these small, because I follow a lot of small YouTubers. Yeah, gotta support the fellow fams, but. And they're posting Among Us videos, so yeah, they're trying to ride that wave still, and I think I agree with that. I do think that it's falling off a little bit as far as the relevancy, but we're in a time where I don't think that really matters. Everybody's just trying to grab the next Vine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all trying to ride these waves to the next trend, and that's what this is. Once it falls off, there's going to be another trend. Everybody's going to jump on it, and I feel like that's really where we're at.
Yeah. As far as this is as far as Among Us and relevancy, I agree. I would agree.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're on the downward slope of this cycle.
Yeah.
So who's to say that Among Us doesn't come? May not come back with a vengeance later. Another upswing.
Hey.
It could. Maybe.
I still like playing it, and we're gonna get you to play it too.
I'll play one day.
We'll get you to play it. But on that note, I think we're gonna call it. It's been about 20 minutes, so.
Well, before we go,
okay.
I do want to give us a little insight. I think next week in something, or at least what you and I have been playing together recently.
Yes.
I want to just mention it. We're not going to go too deep into anything.
No,
but,
yeah.
DRG, also known as Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes, sir.
Space dwarves on a mining mission.
Rock and stone.
Rock and stone. So that's something that we're going to dive a little deeper into at some point. May not be next week. It may be.
We'll see.
We'll decide. But if there's anything that you guys are interested in hearing us talk about, obviously let us know in the comments down there.
Yes, sir.
Maybe look us up on Twitter, Facebook.
We have a Twitter and Facebook now.
Yeah. That's new. However you guys want to reach us, obviously we're out there. Feel free to let us know what you're into, what you're wanting to hear, and we'll work on it one way or the other.
Oh, for sure. Well, we love you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next video, and as always, peace.
Rock and stone.